Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 4 upsets and long shots to bet. And I have one I absolutely love. And let's just get into it. Let's get to the first game. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. Titans are +7 right now. And no, I'm not going the Titans to win. Here's what I'm going to go with. I want to go with the Titans team total under 13.5. Texans -5.5. Plus Nico Collins over 60.5 receiving yards at +440. And this is the one I felt best about this whole year. And like a lot of the long shots have been missing by a whisker, but I believe this one will hit. So firstly, let's just take the first chunk, the Texans -5.5. Has the Texans offense been absolutely dreadful? It has. There's no sugarcoating it. I'm a Stroud fan. I'm going to make excuses for Stroud if they have 5 or 6 guys in protection and the team rushes 3 defensive linemen and a linebacker comes in his zone blitz untouched. I'm going to defend Stroud on that. And the offense of designs just hasn't been the best. They've been trying to do quick routes and nothing's really working. But with that being said, this Titans defense is one of the most disappointing units in the NFL this year, and I'm not sure they're playing hard anymore. And Brian Callahan lost this locker room. I was yelling about it last year, but it really looks like this Titans team, they're poorly coached, they're indecisive with their coaching decisions, but also they're not playing with passion. And we're seeing a Titans secondary that's not staying near anyone. You look at a player like L'Jarius Sneed, a guy we respect at corner in this league. Everyone would put him in their top 10 corners list, right? He's been absolutely dreadful this year. And if you want to use the PFF stats to back it up, or you can just watch Devontae Adams and other players just doing him dirty. I think the Texans are able to move the ball enough here, and I'm worried about the Titans offense. I'm worried about Cam Ward. This Titans offensive line's been better than I thought going into the year. Has it made a difference? Absolutely not. Are these receivers going to get any separation? Absolutely not. And, there's a lot to be negative when it comes to the Houston Texans. There's a lot. And I do see D'Amico stressed. I do just feel the overall tension in the Texans locker room. But this defense is a top 3 unit in the league. Yeah, you can put the Browns above them. Yeah, you might be able to throw another unit above them. But I just think this Texans defense is on another level in comparisons with the other good or elite defenses in this league. And I think Cam Ward is walking into this game just completely without ideas and without structure and without coaching. I'm not sure the Titans offensive line is going to be able to hold up, even though I said they're playing better than I thought, especially in the pass fits. I'm just not seeing how they're going to block these defensive ends from the Texans. So that covers that part. And to cover the last part about Nico Collins, over 67.5. He's phenomenal, and he's one of the better wide receivers in the league, and he hasn't gotten the service he deserves this year, but he will get it this game, and he will get it against the Titans team that, listen, I think Stroud is going to have way more time to throw and scan the field. So give me the Texans +440. Let me just say the bet again. Nico Collins, over 67.5 receiving yards. Texans, -5.5 on the alternative spread. And Titans, team total, under 13.5. I hope I laid that out for the +440. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the New England Patriots. Panthers +5.5. Panthers money line. And if you watched the upset show last year, one thing I did, and firstly, let's go back to the Tuesday video. Maybe I was a little bit jumpy, anxious when I picked the Panthers to cover as a money pick. I think the better value is just betting Panthers money line, because there is a possibility that the Panthers just do not go into Foxborough and show up. And we've seen the Panthers lay eggs before, specifically on the road. And when you're going up against a Mike Vrabel team, you do worry about that. And I like Canales more than most people, but like I said, there's lots of inconsistencies with the Panthers team. This is also a fade against the Patriots. I'm not really buying into them. Yes, they outplayed the Steelers last week at home, but what did it result in? There was lots of silly mistakes, and you can love Drake May, which I do. You can love Mike Vrabel, which I do, but if you look at it and you really get harsh about it and you take out the offseason buzz and vibes, man, this is a bottom 5 Patriots roster. And I'm not saying the Panthers have a much better roster. I know Christian Gonzalez is coming back this week, so they will have a corner to put against Tack. But I just think the Panthers are going to be able to move the ball. I think this Patriots defense is overrated, and the Panthers can do enough on offense. And we know the Panthers are very, very bad when it comes to personnel on defense. Drake May should have time, and he should be able to scan the field with ease and without much pressure. But this Panthers unit has been surprising, and they've been blitzing. They've been getting pressure on the quarterback, and that's one thing that wasn't on my bingo card. And I'm not saying Drake May's like Michael Penix, but I think there's a game flow. I think there's a situation where the Panthers can get under his craw. And I don't want to go to the cliche line, whoever turns it over less is going to win the game. Well, duh, obviously. But one thing Drake May does a lot when he throws over the middle, which I believe he'll be doing a lot against the Carolina Panthers, is he sails balls. He's sloppy with the football. And also, to be completely honest, if you give me Bryce Young's targets versus Drake May's targets, I'm going with the Panthers targets, and I know Legette's going to be out at wide receiver. The Panthers don't have enough wide receivers, but at the end of the day, give me Tack, and I just don't think these Patriots wide receivers are good enough, and I think this is a good matchup for the Panthers. Give me the Panthers money line at plus 200. I just think it's a better value bet than making the Panthers a money pick at 5.5, because we just don't know what we're going to get. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the San Francisco 49ers. Jags plus 3.5. I'm going Jags money line. And I don't like this Purdy situation in terms of his health. Firstly, I'm guessing right now, but I don't think they're going to throw Purdy out there. I think that toe injury is bigger than people think. We saw what it did to Burrow. I'm not saying it's the same severity or the same exact injury, but I do think that's something to keep in mind, especially since the San Fran offensive line just wasn't what it was in previous years. And this Jaguars team, even though they've surprised, and I like the Jags going into this year, they've been a sloppy outfit. But one thing I've liked from the Jags team has been this defensive line. It finally feels like Trayvon Walker and Hines Allen are going to start taking over games. And I think this is a great matchup for this Jags defensive line. We haven't seen the San Francisco 49ers be able to run the rock. I mean, what was Christian McCaffrey's stat line? It was like 23 for 69 against the Seahawks. And we know this Jags defense is playing with a different type of vibe and atmosphere this year. I think they already churned more turnovers on defense than they did the whole year last year with Doug Peterson. So when you look at that matchup, I like the Jags defense in this game. You also have to worry about the state of the San Francisco 49ers. I was huge on the 49ers going into this year. I felt like they would win the NFC West, and I wasn't shocked to see them dominate the game against Seattle, but actually struggle to win it, which was like kind of sad. But that's what the 49ers do a lot. And say what you will about Shanahan, great coach, great play caller, just a great architect of offensive football. but it's the same issues we've seen the last 2 years with the San Francisco 49ers. I feel like they're poor in the red zone, and when they're not running the rock to a high level, they're just left without ideas in the red zone. The last thing about the San Francisco 49ers, the Jags have gotten a lot of good luck this year. Let's be honest about it. They are. And they're getting more luck this weekend. Every single time you can blink and then you open your eyes and then there's a new San Francisco 49er injury. I wonder how the 49ers are going to do from an emotional perspective. Bosa's not going to be out there. Jennings has already been hurt 2 times this year. And is Purdy going to play? If Mac Jones goes out there, you know you're going to get a serviceable option, but Kittle's not going to be there to help. And you might need it because the Jags have been a game and fit unit, which a lot of people didn't expect. I just wonder, with Mac Jones' MCL injury, if he has to go out there, can he make enough plays? Can he get to the right? Can he roll to the right and buy time against the Jacksonville secondary that's playing pretty damn good right now? I don't think so. I think the Jags win this game. It isn't something you want to bet or write home about, but this Jags team is in a really good moment, and I guess the only thing you worry about with the Jags is the turnover-worthy plays from Trevor Lawrence and the bad receiving play. I mean, I've seen the Jags. I've watched every Jags game this year. I've seen them drop at least 12 or 13 passes, and I've seen Trevor Lawrence throw up 3 turnover-worthy throws a game at least. That's taking out the interception. So be cautious with this. But I think the Jags go into San Francisco, a really tough place to play, a really tough place for them to travel, and I think they win the damn game. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Let's get this money.